Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Keeneland Racecourse here on Saturday. It is April the 15th, 2017. Gonna look at the stakes races on today's program from Keeneland, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Stakes races I'll be looking at are races 7, 8, 9, and 10. There's an all stakes pick 4, and I'll give you a very cheap ticket for it. So races 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's get on to it. Starting off with race number 7, the beginning of this all stakes pick 4. It's the 87th running of the Ben Alley Stakes. Grade 3 purse $200,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/8 here on the main dirt course at Keeneland. Mile and 1/8, and I show this diagram. It gives me a second to look down at my notes, so just bear with me. My top pick in this one, I like the 2-horse Eagle. He won this race last year, and I think he has a great chance of repeating this year. I'm going to go 2-4-1-6 in the superfecta. In the multi-race pick 4 wager, I'll go 4 deep. I'll use the 2-4-1-6, and this is probably the deepest I'll go in this pick 4 ticket. But 2-4-1-6 super and in my pick 4. Number 2 Eagle, top pick, 5-2. Robbie Alvarado for Neil Howard. This 5-year-old horse at a Candy Ride, so definitely should get the distance. Most recently on the 1st of April at the Fairgrounds 2 weeks ago, mile and 1/8 in the Grade 2 Nolans handicap. This horse finished 4th by 8 1/4 lengths that day. It was very wide that day and didn't have the best of closing kicks. Breaking from the rail today on a racetrack where this horse really likes running, he should have a better run. Start before at the Fairgrounds, mile 16th, February 25th in the Grade 3 Mineshaft handicap. This horse finished 4th by 4 lengths that day. Again, it was a little bit wide that day, and you don't want to be wide on that race course. Didn't have a lot in the stretch run. Plus, it was his first start since July the 9th at Belmont Park, mile and 1/4 in the Suburban handicap. This horse finished 4th by 6 lengths that day. Really couldn't catch FNX. Was very, very wide again that day. It just wasn't his day to win on that very, very humid day. It was probably the most humid day of 2016 here in New York. Just remember that day so clearly, and a lot of the horses were very soapy after the race, I can tell you that. But throw that race out. He finished second in the Stephen Foster behind Bradister back in June, finished second in the Ali Sheba, and then his last one came in this race last year by 1 1/4 lengths at 2-1. Beating Noble Bird. Noble Bird after that just had a very nice run in his next start. But this horse is 3 for 3 on this race course. He won the Ben Alley. He won an optional claimer in 2015, October of 2015. He should have a very good run here today. Third off the layup back at his home racetrack. Watch out for this one. So to recap my bets for the 7th from Keeneland, it's the 87th Ben Alley. Going to go with the 2-horse Eagle. Going to go 2-4-1-6 in the superfecta. I'll also use a 2-4-1-6 in my pick 4. So now let's get on to race number 8. The 8th race from Keeneland is the 21st running of the Giants Causeway Stakes. Purse $100,000. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 14 horses. Only 12 can run, so the 13 and 14 are both also eligibles. They are traveling the distance of ground here of 5 1/2 furlongs on the turf course. The rail at 0 feet. And we will be finding a single in this race, and that's going to go to the 7-horse, number 7, Lady Aurelia. Going to go 7-4-12-5 in the superfecta, 7-4-12-5 in the super, but single in the pick 4, number 7, Lady Aurelia, 6-5. This 3-year-old filly out of Scat Daddy, Wesley Ward trains. John Velasquez is on this one. Blinkers off today, just keep that in mind. She had blinkers on for her last start. The start before, she had no blinkers, and then her first 2 career starts, she had blinkers, but 6-5 here. She's only had 1 start in the United States. All the other ones came in the United Kingdom. Most recently on the 24th of September at Newmarket, 6 furlongs on the Rowley Mile course and the Connolly Chevrolet Park Stakes. This horse finished 3rd by 2 lengths that day behind Brave Anna and Roly Poly. Was with the early, set the pace early on that day, and then, just weakened, got overtaken by the closers. This horse is really talked about well in the UK about being one of the best horses Wesley Ward has. This horse just couldn't keep up with them that day. Disappointing beat, but start before in France actually on August 21st at Deauville. 6 furlongs, 1,200 meters in the Prix de Marnier. This horse won by 3/4 length that day and just ran a hell of a race. Went straight to the lead, didn't look back, easy, clear final victory. And then in probably her best career start, that came at Royal Ascot last June and the Queen Mary. This horse won by 7 lengths, almost on the lead all throughout. Easy victory, great ride by Frankie Dettori at 2-1. Just an all-around great run for this horse. If she runs the same races today, she wins easy. Just to keep in mind, all the races in the UK she has run were all on a straight course, so she's going around the turn for the first time. That could be a little bit of, that could be a little problem, but she's been training around the turn. I don't think that, ideally, I don't think it should be a problem, but if there has to be a problem, it could be that. This horse is a very good one, 6-5. I think she's a single. So to recount my bets for the 8th from Keeneland, it's the 21st running of the Giants Causeway. Gonna go with the 7-horse Lady Aurelia. Gonna go 7-4, 12-5 in the superfecta. 7-4, 12-5 in the super. Single the 7-horse Lady Aurelia in my pick 4 ticket. So now let's get on to race number 9. The 9th race from Keeneland is the 36th running of the Stone Street Lexington Stakes. Grade 3, purse $200,000. It's for 3-year-olds. We have a field of 10 3-year-olds going the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the main track. 1 mile, 1/16, and this is a bit of a tricky race. I could go 4 deep, or I could go 2 deep. Or 3 deep, whatever. I could go 10 deep if I want to, but, my top pick in this one, I like the 4-horse. If we could get my page to load. Number 4, No Dozing. I'm going to go 4-10-1-3 in the superfecta. 4-10-1-3. In the multi-race pick 4 wager, I'll use the 4 and the 10 definitely. And, I'm on the sidelines if I use the 1-horse. That's the horse, maybe not. I'll post a final ticket on my Twitter page, but he's the one that I'm not sure if I'll use in full, but definitely the 4 and the 10 in this pick 4. But my top pick, number 4, No Dozing, 4-1, Joel Rosario for Arnold Delcor, who trains the 3-year-old colt out of Union Rags. Most recently in the 11th of March at Tampa Bay Downs, mile 16th in the Tampa Derby. This horse finished 4th by 6.5 lengths behind Taprit and State of Honor and Wild Shot. It was just very wide that day and weakened out of it. Hopefully he could save some ground on this race course. Start before Tampa Bay Downs, mile 16th in Sam F. Davis. Again, this horse was 6 by 10.5 lengths. It was very wide and didn't have anything. Tampa Bay surface is very sandy. Maybe didn't get a piece of it. Maybe he didn't like it. But his start before in the Remsen at Aqueduct Mile 8th, November 26th. This horse finished 2nd by 2.5 lengths. Was far back early, but was closing at the end. But couldn't catch Motown. It wasn't a half bad race, but just couldn't catch Motown. And then this horse had a 4th on this race course in the Breeders' Futurity last October behind Classic Empire, who then went on to win the the Breeders' Cup, not Classic, but the Juvenile. This horse that got bothered at the start, didn't have a lot in the tank at the stretch run, but if this horse could save some ground and go to the lead, I think he can win. Like I said, it's a bit of a wide open race, so I'll take my chances with this one here. So to recount my bets for the 9th from Keeneland, it's the 36 Lexington. I'm going to go with the 4-horse No Dozing. I'm going to go 4-10-1-3 in the superfecta. To race number 10 now from Keeneland. The 10th race is the 29th running of the Jenny Wiley Stakes. Grade 1, purse $350,000. It's for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf course. 1 mile, 1/16. 1,700 meters, if you want to go by that. And my top pick in this one, and a single in my pick 4 ticket to end it off, that's going to be the 1-horse Lady Eli. Going to go 1-6-3-7 in the pick 1-6-3-7 in the superfecta, but number 1 top pick and single in the pick 4, number 1 Lady Eli. Even money here. Irad Ortiz Jr., this 5-year-old mare out of Divine Park. Chad Brown trains this one most recently on the 5th of November at Santa Anita, mile and a quarter in the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf. This horse finished 2nd by nose that day, closed almost from the clouds to get the 2nd place finish, and she got the 2nd place finish. She was almost won the race, but got caught by Queen's Trust. It wasn't a half bad race. I think that was actually her best. Maybe in my eyes, it would be her best race in 16 because she just ran her heart out. Start 4 in the Flower Bowl Invitational, Belmont Park, mile quarter, October the 8th. This horse won by 3/4 length, stuck to pace, got the lead, took off clear. Very nice victory for this horse, being Senatiro Italian Ciclisi. Just nice comeback victory. And then the Boston Spot, Saratoga. This horse finished second by 3/4 length, actually got the lead and then got taken over by Strike Charmer. She needed the race that day. It was her first start in 13 months. First start after she had a very, she had some career life-threatening, actually, health problems, overcame it. That she came back to run was very amazing. She had a decent second-place finish there. But start 4, she was undefeated, basically. She won the Belmont Oaks Invitational 2015, won the Wonder again, won the Appalachian on this turf course, won the British Cup Juvenile Phillies turf, won the Miss Grillo, won on a main special weight. She's pretty perfect, especially at a mile 16th. She should have a very good run here today, so watch out for this one. So to recap my bets for the featured from Keeneland, race number 10, it's the 29th Jenny Wiley. Going to go with the one horse Lady Eli. I'm going to go 1-6-3-7 in the superfecta, but single the one horse in my pick 4. If you want to recap this pick 4 ticket, for 50 cents, it should cost you about, at the most, $6, really. It just depends on what I use in race number 9. I will post a final ticket on my Twitter page. So good luck to all and follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKit5.